In a top high school with strict rules, there was a smart but arrogant student named Sarah. She was the only child of hardworking parents who were both professionals in the corporate world. Her mother was a high-ranking executive at a multinational company, and her father was a well-known financial analyst. They had high hopes for Sarah, expecting her to achieve great things and continue the family's legacy of success. However, Sarah often took these privileges for granted. She ignored the rules and looked down on her peers, thinking she was better than them. Her intelligence and natural talent allowed her to succeed without much effort, which made her feel superior and entitled. Teachers and students were frustrated with her attitude, but being smart and clever often kept her out of trouble. Sarah's best friend, Kosi, was also smart but much more down-to-earth. Kosi's parents were teachers who taught her to value hard work, humility, and respect. Even though Sarah often acted disrespectfully, Kosi stayed loyal, hoping Sarah would change. The two girls did everything together, studying, joining school activities, and exploring the campus. However, Sarah's rebellious nature frequently got them into trouble, much to Kosi's concern. One day, Sarah convinced Kosi to join her in exploring the old science lab that students were forbidden to enter. The lab had been closed down after a dangerous chemical spill long ago. Rumors suggested it was haunted by experiments that had gone wrong. At first, Kosi hesitated, but eventually, she agreed to accompany her best friend. Sarah found the idea of exploring this off-limits place exciting. She saw it as an opportunity to prove her bravery and show that rules meant little to her. After searching for a long time without finding anything exciting, Kosi suggested they go back to their hostel. But Sarah didn't want to leave empty-handed. She kept looking through the old cabinets and drawers in the lab, her eyes shining with mischief. Kosi could tell something bad might happen and begged Sarah to leave the lab, but Sarah ignored her. As they kept looking around, Sarah noticed a cabinet full of big containers with warning labels. The labels said the chemicals inside were dangerous and could react strongly. Sarah got curious. She realized these were part of an experiment that students weren't supposed to touch. Kosi got scared and begged Sarah not to take anything from the cabinet. "Sarah, please, we shouldn't be here. This is dangerous," Kosi whispered urgently. "Don't worry so much, Kosi. These warnings are likely just to keep us away. And really, life's no fun without a little adventure, right?" Sarah said casually. Ignoring Kosi's worries, Sarah grabbed one of the containers and held it tightly. It was labeled laughing gas, nitrous oxide. Sarah's eyes sparkled with excitement as she imagined what experimenting with the gas might be like. She felt sure she could handle it, just like she handled everything else in her life. Back in their room, Sarah couldn't hide her excitement. Even though Kosi kept warning her, Sarah was determined to open the container and find out what was inside. Kosi watched nervously as Sarah carefully twisted off the lid. A soft hissing noise filled the room as the gas started to escape. "Sarah, stop. This isn't safe," Kosi cried, trying to grab the container from her. "Relax, Kosi. It's just laughing gas. What's the worst that could happen?" Sarah said, brushing off her friend's concerns. As the gas filled the room, Sarah started breathing it in deeply and began to laugh uncontrollably. At first, it seemed funny. Sarah's laughter made Kosi chuckle too, finding the situation absurd. But soon, Sarah couldn't stop laughing, and her laughter turned scary. She looked scared, her eyes wide open. Kosi tried to calm Sarah down, but it was impossible. She called their roommates for help, but even together, they couldn't stop Sarah's uncontrollable laughter. The gas filled the room quickly, making things worse. Sarah's face turned red, and tears ran down her cheeks as she struggled to breathe. Kosi knew things were serious. She and the roommates decided to tell the principal, Mrs. Johnson, about the incident. Mrs. Johnson was known for being strict but fair. She rushed to the dormitory with the school nurse, Mrs. Anderson. Mrs. Anderson saw Sarah's symptoms and knew they needed to act fast. They took Sarah to the school clinic right away, and then she was rushed to the hospital because she had passed out from breathing in too much gas. The doctors worked hard to help her get better. Sarah's parents rushed to the school, filled with worry and sadness. They were shocked to see their daughter in such a bad condition and couldn't understand how this had happened. The school decided to suspend Sarah because she had broken the rules and disobeyed. During her suspension, Sarah had a lot of time to think about what she had done. The days felt long and lonely without her friends and the usual school routine. She realized how serious her mistake was and how important it was to follow the rules. Her parents were really disappointed, and Sarah felt bad about letting them down. Her mom, who was usually busy with work meetings, took time off to stay with Sarah. She was upset but also showed how much she cared about Sarah's well-being. Her dad, who was usually calm, struggled to hide how worried he was. They both talked to Sarah about how important it is to be responsible and to understand the consequences of doing something risky. "Sarah, we love you, but you need to know that actions have results," her mom said, sounding sad. "You put yourself and others in danger. This isn't just about breaking school rules, it's about your future and staying safe." Sarah nodded, feeling tears in her eyes. "I'm really sorry, Mom. I didn't think. I just wanted to have fun." Her dad put his hand on her shoulder to comfort her. "We understand, Sarah. But it's time to grow up and take responsibility for what you did. We believe in you, and we know you can do better." During her time away from school, Sarah volunteered at a local community center. She tutored younger kids and helped with daily tasks at the center. Her parents wanted her to learn about being humble and helping others. After several weeks, Sarah was allowed to come back to school. She was determined to make things right and returned with a new attitude of respect for the rules. Sarah apologized to her friends, teachers, and classmates for her past behavior, admitting that she had caused pain and trouble. Sarah became friendlier and more helpful to others, making an effort to be approachable. Sarah was made to apologize publicly during school assembly by Mrs. Johnson, the principal. "Good morning, everyone," Sarah began, feeling a bit nervous. "I want to say sorry for what I did. I was reckless and disrespectful, and I put myself and others in danger. I've learned a lot from this and I promise to do better. I want to be a positive influence and a responsible member of our school. Thank you for giving me another chance." Everyone clapped for her and she felt relieved. Her friendship with Kosi became even stronger. Kosi was proud of Sarah's transformation and they continued to study together, support each other, and enjoy school activities. Sarah's parents were proud of her progress. They saw the changes in her behavior and knew she had learned important lessons. The principal, Mrs. Johnson, also praised Sarah for her turnaround during a school assembly. From then on, Sarah was known as "Laughing Gas" among her peers. In the end, Sarah's journey of making amends and personal growth showed that change is possible at any time. Her story proves the power of being resilient, humble, and having friends who support you. The end. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos like this one.